Yo guys, it's Slyroh. You already know that today I'm bringing you guys my team analysis video for week 2 of the TBU. This week we are taking on Eric, also known as Ashnakai, and his AS Rowlet. That is his new team name for the season, which is all good and also very confusing because the Rowlet is like the smallest part of his logo, and it just really confuses me, and I don't like it, and because of that we're going to punish him for it by beating him in a match this week. That's the goal anyway, but I can't really say that with much confidence because his team is very, very scary. Of course, this is going to be the team analysis video where I do explain my sets and why I'm bringing what I'm bringing, and the battle will be uploaded tomorrow. So, with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump right into it, and yeah, this might be the fastest that I've ever actually gotten into talking about a team or a matchup, because me and Eric are in very similar situations, because I feel like both of us were expected to do well in our first matches, and not that he didn't do well, but we did both lose our first matches, so we both are really coming out here wanting to win. We really both need a win if we want to be able to have a good shot at the playoffs. If I lose this game, it's going to be really hard for me to claw my way back into the playoff race, and I really want to do that. So I really took the time to sit down and try and make the best team possible this week, but it was very tough with what he has. So let's go ahead and go over what he does have. So the team that he has that he could be bringing is Mega Scizor, Togekiss, Nidoking, Decidueye, Bibarel, Uxie, Politoed, Kingdra, and Pangoro. So those are the 9 that he can choose. His bench is Tornadus T, Electivire, Snorlax. He actually benched Electivire for this match to bring off Bibarel, which is very scary. And he left Tornadus on the bench, which I'm very happy about that. But besides that, I'm not really happy about anything else on his team because it's very scary. He has the option of bringing rain, and he has the option of not bringing rain, and both are equally terrifying for me. So let's go ahead and look at my team. For this week, as you can clearly see, I made a bench switch, and I brought Palossand off the bench and benched Gogoat. The reason for this was kind of weird. So I just realized I didn't need Gogoat. I was looking for what I could bring off the bench. You can make one bench switch every week. There's no penalty for it. Or anything like that. There's no limit to how many you can make per season, so you can make one every single week, which honestly I kind of plan on doing if I can. And Palossand just looked like it could maybe do work at a first glance. I thought Wobbuffet might be able to put in work, but Eric has way too much switch initiative on his team for me able to pull that off. But I figured Gogoat wasn't doing much, and I wanted to try out Palossand. I thought its ability might be able to help me out. As I got into team building, I figured I probably wasn't going to bring it, but as you can see on the team of 6, I came up with a little something for it. And in return, that actually means that Lando is not coming to this match. Neither is Komala, still not getting its first look yet. And Electabuzz isn't here, which is crazy. And I don't know if this is going to work out or not, because I'm not bringing anything that's good against water types against the rain team, but when I look at Eric's team, I see so much more than rain. The more, like, he has Politoed, Kingdra, but everything else really scares me in a not rain sense. Like, yes, Mega Scizor is a good Pokemon to have on a rain team, but it scares me because it's a Mega Scizor, not because it's in rain, and other things like that. So it's just one of those that it's really going to be hard to pin down what exactly Eric is going to be bringing, and because of that, I just did the best I could. And with that being said, let's go ahead and talk about these 6 mons that I did bring and why I brought them. We should probably start at the first slot, because Slowking is going to be getting its first look of the season, and is going to be a really specially defensive wall. As you can see, max special defense Assault Vest Regenerator with Ice Beam, Psychic, Dragon Tail, and Scald. This is the main answer for Kingdra. This also works as a really good answer to Nidoking, as long as it's, you know, like the special, like Life Orb set or whatever, or Scarf, whatever it is. As long as it's not physical, it would be fine. But Slowking should be able to even not deal with, but like, if I switch this in on Nidoking and I'm at full health, or whatever, and then the Nidoking goes for like a Thunder Punch or Earthquake or Poison Jab or something like that, to do damage. I should still be able to live one. That I'll learn my lesson, know that it's physical, and then I can switch out and save this for other things. But Slow King, I think, is going to be putting in a whole lot of work. I wanted to bring it physically defensive, but I think it's actually going to work out really well as a specially defensive wall. Scald Burns could be really nice against his whole team. Ice Beam is really hitting a lot of his team hard. Dragon Tail is going to be great for the initiative. Of course, the only thing that it doesn't work against is Togekiss, which I have the Ice Beam for, and I'm especially defensive. So unless he air slash flinches me like 10 times in a row, it's really not going to matter. And I really shouldn't have said that because now I'm going to jinx it, aren't I? Dang. And Psychic, was there a reason that I had Psychic? Hold up. I need to look at why there was a reason I had Psychic. I don't think there is a reason that I should have Psychic. Psychic might just be a strong stab move for things like Politoed, Kingdra. I think that's all it is. It's just a strong stab move. I am a Solvest, so my choices in moves are a little bit limited. But yeah, Slow King is going to be the main special answer. And Eric's team is mostly special offense, so it's good. And then I guess I'll just go in order, even though it doesn't really pair up, because Arcanine is about not being brought defensively. Instead, I am bringing a Choice Band Jolly Arcanine. With Flare Blitz, Close Combat, Extreme Speed, and Wild Charge. 180 Speed Jolly is to outspeed his base 85s at max speed, which are Kingdra and Nidoking, and everything else is slower. Obviously Uxie is base 95, but unless he brings a max speed like Jolly, Uxie, or whatever, then he's not going to outspeed. And so the only thing that's going to outspeed is Scarfers and Kingdra in the Rain. And because of that, it actually made speed tiering against Eric pretty easy, because what I really have to worry about is outspeeding his Mons, which are all base 85 or lower, or trying to stop Kingdra, which is kind of what Slow King does. So I feel like I have the two main bases covered in terms of how I want to approach this battle, and it's just going to be about predictions and switching and just hurting him as quickly as possible, and that's what Choice Banded Arcanine is here to do. I really don't want to use Flare Blitz more than I have to, because I do want to keep Arcanine as healthy as I can for as long as I can, and I don't have a spinner this week. So if Eric gets up Stealth Rocks, it's going to be not super great for me, and he has an Uxie that is almost guaranteed to get up rocks, and unfortunately I just don't really have a way to stop it. And unless I bring Komala into this match, I don't really have a good Rapid Spinner, and I don't know, I just don't see it. So the whole point is to just try and hurt him as fast as I can, as hard as I can, and just do what I can. Maybe threaten him with some setup with some other Pokemon like Lucario or Cleavable, and hopefully we just keep him at bay for a little bit. But obviously Choice Banded Arcanine is fantastic. Arcanine, of course, is always fantastic, because you know how that is, but it really does do a lot. I mean, Choice Banded Arcanine, obviously, it's going to kill Mega Scizor. It does so much to Togekiss, Nidoking. Close Combat actually does a lot to most of his team too, which is a lot safer of a play to go for than Flare Blitz, if I don't want the recoil damage. Obviously, Wild Charge is there, but I really don't plan on going for that. Choice Banded Close Combat still does like 60 to 70% to Politoed, or somewhere around that range. It was somewhere in that range that it still does a lot to things like Politoed and Kingdra. Obviously, Flare Blitz would just have to be used for like Uxie and Decidueye, and Togekiss. I mean, Flare Blitz or Wild Charge, either way, I'm taking recoil. So the Extreme Speed is one of two Mons with Extreme Speed. I don't remember if I put Sucker Punch on Druddigon or not. I did. So I do have some priority this week because Bibarel. So for those of you guys that don't know, which I'm sure you guys do at this point, but Bibarel got a little bit of a buff because it got Swords Dance. I think that's the new thing. It has Swords Dance plus Simple, meaning that it goes for Swords Dance and it's at +4. So it gets really strong moves, but it is base 71, which means all I have to do is outspeed it, but it does have Aqua Jet, which means I just need to be able to take an Aqua Jet or out-prioritize it. So Extreme Speed is going to out-prioritize it and is going to hurt, but obviously it isn't going to kill. So hopefully I can get Bibarel down with some other ways, but worst case scenario, Bibarel comes in, sets up a Swords Dance, and it kills a Pokemon, then I have some priority to try and take it out. That's really the plan, is to try and not let Bibarel just like sweep me, but I mean, it might. Let's be honest, it really might. So we'll see. But yeah, Arcanine is just one of two just super powerhouses this week that I need it to just do damage as fast as it possibly can. Because I mean, I might even lead off with it. That might actually not be a terrible idea. So I really just need to hurt Eric's team as fast as possible, because if he stays around too long, I'm not going to be able to outlast him. Next mon is going to be Druddigon. It's going to be brought physically defensive again with a rough skin Rocky Helmet for a similar reason. If Bibarel sets up a Sword Stance and I don't have anything to take it, Druddigon could be a good switch in to get rough skin Rocky Helmet damage off, to be able to go into one of my two E-Speed users. Also, if it does live, because it does resist water, you know, so if I switch it into an Aqua Jet / Waterfall or whatever, then maybe I can get off a Sucker Punch and all that good stuff. So yeah, Dragon Claw, Fire Punch, Sucker Punch, Stealth Rock. Fire Punch is for the Mega Scizor, of course. Dragon Claw is a good stab. Stealth Rocks are Stealth Rocks, which aren't like the most important against Eric's team, but it is good to get some of these bulky things that are just a little bit hard to take out in one hit. Things like Uxie, things like Politoed, things like Kingdra. Just being able to wear them down is really good enough for me. He doesn't have a Rapid Spinner. He does have Defoggers. So if I get rocks in his side of the field, it's going to make it either he has to deal with them, or he's going to have to defog and take away rocks from my side of the field too. And rocks on my side of the field are probably, like, rocks are probably worse for me than they are for him, but at least if I get them up on his side, then it'll be a little bit easier for me to deal with, hopefully. So yeah, that's what Druddigon is here for, and that's why it's the Rough Skin Rocky Helmet, because outside of that, there aren't a whole lot of physical offense. Decidueye, I'm really bad with these new Pokemon and exactly what they do, especially in League format, because I haven't done a lot of scouting of these new mons and how they are performing in League format. But Decidueye does look very scary. I think Druddigon kind of deals with its stabs. Well, maybe not stabs, but it should be able to do some. And then, of course, you know, there's Sucker Punch, there's Fire Punch. So it might not be a thing that he wants to stay into him. So we're just going to have to deal with it as we can. But this is probably going to have to be my switch into that, which really sucks. Arcanine could also kind of deal with it too. A little bit, but then again, like I said, I don't want to really take damage with it too much, so Decidueye is going to be a Pokemon that really sucks for me. I wish I was able to fit Wish support onto this team, but I don't think I am. So we're just going to make do with what we have, and this is one of the reasons why I say I have to damage Eric as quickly as possible before he gets a chance to outlast and take me out, because he will be able to wear me down. So that is one of the things I'm concerned about this week. But, you know, it is what it is. So, next mon is, of course, our other offensive thing, which is going to be another Life Orb, Lucario, Jolly, pretty similar to last week. However, the moves are going to be Close Combat, Ice Punch, Crunch, Extreme Speed. Max attack, the 220 Jolly, is to outspeed the base 85s at max speed. Of course, Extreme Speed for the same reasons that Extreme Speed is on Arcanine. And then Crunch, Ice Punch, Close Combat, all that is to hit the mons that it needs to. Close Combat, obviously good stab. Crunch is good for the Uxie. Ice Punch is good for the Togekiss, and the Decidueye. So, Decidueye actually works both for Ice Punch and Crunch. So, I guess Crunch would technically do more. But yeah, the Ice Punch is more for the Togekiss. Close Combat for anything that was not those things. So, that does a lot of damage. Lucario is spooky. And I wanted to fit on a Sword Stance, but I don't think that Eric is going to be the type of person to let me get up a Sword Stance. I think he knows the power of Lucario, and I think he knows that should I get up a Sword Stance, I kind of think that given the right moves sets, so from like his point of view of planning, I would think that after a Sword Stance there are a set of moves that I could have that could take out like his whole team. So he's going to be prepared for that, and I think he's going to try and, you know, have berries and have things like that to try and deal with this. So I'm not going to bother with that. I'm going to just go straight for the attack. Hopefully I can catch the right switch-ins, the right predictions, and just do a lot of damage. Because again, Lucario and Arcanine are basically my two offensive mons that really just need to just hit so hard. They just need to hit so hard. And that's all that really matters to me, is they just need to hit hard. And if I can get the predictions right, I can really be looking in a good spot. Alright, the last two mons are a little bit interesting, but bear with me. So first we're going to be bringing Clefable, leftovers, specially defensive, pretty, magic guard, similar to last week. However, Sunny Day, Flamethrower, Moonblast, Soft Boiled. So, let's go ahead and talk about this. Clefable is a good Pokemon, and with it being specially defensive, can actually deal with Kingdra, kind of, if it's not in the rain. It depends. Alright, so if Kingdra is like modest Life Orb in the rain, then 2 Hydro Pumps take it out. But if it's not Life Orb, then Clefable can deal with it. The ideal situation is to switch in Slowking on Kingdra, but if I'm able to switch in Clefable on Politoed, then I can set up the Sunny Day. So, kind of what I'm thinking could potentially happen is he brings in Politoed, I have whatever, I want to switch out, so I switch into Clefable, while he either goes for a move like Scald, which Clefable doesn't mind, and of course doesn't mind getting burned, or he switches into his Kingdra to try and start the sweep, and at that point Clefable would not have had any damage taken, and Clefable can take any one hit from a Kingdra regardless, and then I can get up the Sunny Day. As he attacks me, if I get up the Sunny Day, that's going to weaken his water moves, and I believe that will help me live another one, again, unless it's like Specs or something. And then of course Moonblast does a lot of damage. Flamethrower is for the Mega Scizor, of course. I really thought about putting a Babiri Berry on, but I really need the leftovers to try and deal with the Kingdra and just to be able to stick around a little bit better. But hopefully I don't regret not putting on the Babiri Berry. I almost feel like I really should put it on, because I think the reason I had leftovers is because I was thinking about having Protect on here too. I also thought about, man, I already forget it, the berry that weakens poison type moves, but at that point I don't think it's gonna be worth it. I might switch this for a Babiri Berry to weaken the Mega Scizor's Bullet Punch and then be able to kill it with a Flamethrower. I'm gonna look through and maybe get some other people's opinions. I will let you guys know in the battle what this ends up being, but for right now it's leftovers. I'll get some people's opinions before I get it and everything like that. So I'll let you guys know in the battle what this is. And obviously the other thing that Sunny Day can do is it could power up a Choice Banded Arcanine's Flare Blitz. And once the Sunny Day is up, if I'm able to do something like that late game, say he doesn't bring rain, or say Kingdra is dead. So if both of those happens, if he doesn't bring rain, so Politoed just isn't there, and then Kingdra like dies, like nothing wants to take like the Flare Blitz in the sun from a Choice Banded Arcanine. Bibarel might can I actually do that calc really quick? I want to actually, for the first time, I want to do that calc while I am talking about this, because I don't want to say something stupid and be wrong. So I actually want to see a Jolly Choice Banded Arcanine in the sun. How well would Bibarel take a Flare Blitz? 66 to 78%. That's a max. Oh well, that's like max HP, mostly physically defense. So if it's just max HP and without any defense investment, that's 82 to 97.8%. That is Flare Blitz, Jolly Choice Band in the sun. So say Stealth Rocks are up, then you're looking at like a 68.8% chance to Oko. So that is really good, and it would kill like pretty much everything. So that is the other thing that Sun does for me. It takes away the rain, and it also helps Arcanine, as well as can power up things like this Flamethrower, and that's about it. So that is what Clefable is doing. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, as I was looking through the last mod, obviously, as I see it now, I realize I don't have as much for Decidueye as I wish I did, but there was another Pokemon that I know is coming, and I feel like I don't have enough for it, and that's Mega Scizor. The regular Mega Scizor answer for me would probably be an Arcanine, but I feel like Eric is going to be ready for that. He's going to expect me to bring some defensive Arcanine, and he's going to be ready with Toxicking it, and maybe even having, would he be able to like speed creep? I don't know. He would have to have like max speed Scizor, if that even worked, which actually I don't think it does. But like he's gonna be prepared. He's gonna be prepared. He's gonna have the knockoff to knock off leftovers of anything that I would switch in, and I needed something for it. So I did end up going a little bit tricky with it because that is pretty much Palossand's only role this week. So I do have Cobra Berry. This defensive investment lets me, I did the calcs just to make sure that it was right, and it lets me be able to 1v1 Mega Scizor pretty easily. So that's kind of the deal. And then of course Hidden Power Fire, it does 80 or somewhere in the like 70 to 90% range to a max HP Mega Scizor. Shore Up, which is a self-recovery move, Earth Power for stab, and if I'm able to catch anything in on the switch. I really thought about Shadow Ball, which might not be a terrible idea for things like Uxie and Decidueye, but I'm not sure. That actually might be a better idea because Earth Power is literally only hitting Nidoking, which if Nidoking comes in, I'm not going to be able to like hit it. So I think I'm actually going to switch that out for Shadow Ball. And then the last move is Destiny Bond. So that's going to be the main move that I try and go for. Obviously the Mega Scizor is going to switch out once it realizes it can't do much, and that I can beat it like 1v1, and then hopefully I can Destiny Bond whatever gets switched in, and then he's going to want to think twice about attacking me, or I can try and just predict around him then. So, and if Mega Scizor doesn't show up to the match, then Palossand becomes something I can sack off and just becomes an extra mon to help use for switch initiative. You know, if Decidueye is in and I just need like, I want this, you know, to die so I can get a freer switch into Arcanine, I can do that. But yeah, so that's kind of it. I know that possibly bringing Lando would be better offensively for me, just to deal with some of these bulkier things, but I feel like if I do that, I don't like the matchup I have against Mega Scizor. And so I'm just going to try some things out, think a little bit outside the box, because when you start thinking outside the box, you can really throw off your opponent's like game plan and their mindset, and he's going to be wondering what the heck I'm trying to do with this thing, when in reality I don't really have a lot that I am doing with this thing. It's just kind of here for some shenanigans and for Mega Scizor. So if I can just kind of throw him off just a little bit, you never know how much of an advantage that can give you. So that is my team, and that is why I'm bringing everything I'm bringing. I thought everything out a lot more clearly this week than I did last week, and hopefully that results in a victory for us, because I am really putting my all into this season to try and take away the championship. So that is the team for this week. If I missed anything, or if you have any questions, comments, whatever, go ahead, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And like I said, I will see you guys tomorrow for the battle. Make sure you check out Eric. His links are in the description and all that good stuff, and that should cover everything. And like I said, I will see you guys tomorrow for the battle. So thanks for watching, and until the next time, guys, stay sly.